Hey peeps, welcome back. We're talking The Real Housewives of Orange County, Season 18, Episode 12. Hey, before we get into the video, please do me the honors of subscribing to my channel, hitting the notification bell so you can always be notified when I post new content, hitting the thumbs up because that does wonders for my channel, and share. Thanks. Alright peeps, so if you watched my Real Housewives of Salt Lake City video, you already know why this video is late. My contractors flooded my basement 2 days in a row. It has been a complete nightmare. It still is. But we're gonna just move forward and take each day as they come. Alright, so let's just get into the show. So Emily meets up with Tamara and Gina and they're talking about the night before. And Emily makes this comment that she wanted to have a little heart-to-heart with Heather regarding the fashion show. And I thought to myself, this is not the first time. I heard her say this on an interview with Entertainment Tonight. And I thought you could not possibly have wanted to have a little heart-to-heart with Heather because you did it in front of the whole group. If you keep saying that you and Heather have this really good relationship and you just wanted to have this conversation, you should have pulled her to the side and had that conversation privately. However, I am sorry that it blew up and Emily's feelings were hurt. I'm sorry that Alexis wasn't rationally thinking and couldn't realize that Emily was actually commenting her on her shape and how beautiful she looked in the dress. I'm also sad that Emily is still upset about this because Emily looked amazing in her dress as well. No matter if Emily was wearing a size 4 or a size 12, she still looked absolutely amazing in her dress. And I wish that she would be able to see that. I totally understand it. Gina brings up that Alexis was acting so odd, and they show a flashback of Alexis crying and saying that Johnny has lost everything. She does feel sorry for Shannon, but Johnny has lost everything. And tomorrow, it's all going to come out. So, of course, Emily and everyone is wondering what the hell is coming out the next day. Emily thinks that Alexis is a total lunatic, and I, have to agree. Her behavior was just odd. It was attention seeking, in my opinion. Now, as they're talking to Tamara, you can see that Gina and Emily are concerned about Shannon. However, Tamara is smiling a little bit, and then she says, "Oh, she's fucked." Tamara is always happy and delighted when somebody else is having a problem. If someone else is going through a downfall or an issue, Tamara is all smiles. Terry has decided to get a nose job. He is going to get his nose fixed because he's got a serious snoring issue. And of course, Heather is happy about it. I would be too. If my husband snored like a freight train, I would be happy for any resolution that we could come to. You need to get your nose done. Let's do this. Okay. Heather asked a weird question. So we know that Terry has some heart issues. He's also, going to go under the knife, which means they're going to put him under anesthesia. And Heather says, "Do you think that they're trying to clear you for surgery because you're old?" I said, "Well, what?" I thought, that's weird. When I had surgery when I was 20, they had to clear me for surgery. And I think that it's a good thing that they do that. I thought that they cleared everybody before they had surgery. Maybe not. Just know that sometimes people have gone under anesthesia and had some sort of issue come up and then they never, woke up. So, yeah, I think it's important to get everyone cleared before you go into surgery. But maybe that's not a normal thing. Terry said that he knows Paul's going to be mad as hell because he didn't use him for his new surgery. And I laughed. I think Paul's going to be mad too. But it's kind of funny. And he was right. It's his nose. He should be able to have whoever he wants do his surgery. Heather talks to him a little bit and she voices her concern about her relationship with Emily and Gina. She says it's always 2 steps forward, 2 steps back. And she wants to have a talk with Gina again about the situation with Katie. And I said to myself, no, you don't. Let it go. The last time you guys talked, you said you were going to move forward. Not only that, whenever Gina or Katie try to talk to you about it, you overtalk them, you cut them off, and you don't let them say anything. You don't need another conversation. Leave it the hell alone. Terry says, well, that's exactly how you are. You have to have 1, 2, 3 conversations about the same thing before you can let something go. And she tries to do that whole overtalk him thing like she does everybody else, but Terry wasn't here for it. He says, if you want to have this conversation, don't overtalk me. And then they walk off camera and she forgets.
Can't say that.
Can't say what?
Admonish me on camera. Don't do that. I don't like that.
Well, then don't talk over me. Let me talk.
It obviously wasn't on purpose. Don't admonish me.
So, honey, I love that the Real Housewives of Orange County producers left that part in. She tried to tell Terry that he was admonishing her on TV. Don't do that. Don't do that. Listen, I'm glad they left it in because Heather always tries to make it seem like she's perfect. Nobody is perfect. And you and Terry are not the perfect couple. You have been married for a very long time, and I thought that he was very kind when he said, please don't overtalk me. If you want to have this conversation, we can, but not if you're going to overtalk me. I didn't think it was bad. I don't think that he admonished you at all, and I was happy to see him stick up for himself. Now, Ryan and Jen are going shopping, and listen, you already know I have zero fashion sense. Zero fashion sense. However, I don't think Ryan has any fashion sense either. I can't stand Ryan's clothes. I really hate it. Jen lets us know that Ryan takes all of his clothes, including his underpants, down to a tailor. I said, no, absolutely not. This man is high maintenance. Too damn high maintenance. And I could never be happy in a relationship with a man that was that damn high maintenance. I'm sorry. No, ma'am. I thought it was a little funny how the lady who worked at the shop asked them if they knew Tamara and Eddie. You know good and damn well that they know Tamara and Eddie. First of all, you know that she's a housewife and that they're filming for the Housewives, and Tamara and Eddie are on the Housewives. Come on now. That was ridiculous. But she wanted to let him know that Eddie bought the same jacket. Jen then says that she really wants to make sure that her and Tamara, him and Eddie all get along. She says that her and Tamara are doing great and they're moving forward. Like I said from the very beginning of the season, I said, Jen, be careful. Tamara is friends with no one. You and Tamara and Eddie are never going to be close like that because Tamara doesn't care about anybody but Tamara, and she's willing to walk all over you and use you for storyline purposes. Absolutely not. Jen says that she has a really good relationship with Eddie and she wants their friendship to remain. So she really would like for Ryan to try to get along with Eddie and make amends. And so Ryan says, all right, even though he says that he doesn't really like Eddie, he doesn't think that Eddie is a guy's guy. I don't know what he meant by that. Do you mean that Eddie is not, going around town slinging that thing? I don't know. But anyway, he doesn't really like Eddie. Eddie doesn't like him. And Eddie doesn't even want to give it a chance. He does not want a friendship with Ryan at all. Tamara says that Ryan talked negative about her and Eddie on this podcast. However, the little clips of the podcast that we heard, I didn't hear much negativity. But, I've heard a lot of negativity come out of Tamara's mouth on the show, on the blogs, on her own social media, and on her podcast. Negative all the time. However, Tamara did have a new confessional look this episode, and I absolutely loved it. I thought that her white top and skirt was gorgeous. Eddie made it very clear that he really loves Jen. He thinks that she is a very sweet, kind woman. And I thought, well, what are you doing with Tamara? Anyway, he says, but he doesn't want to have anything to do with Ryan because he believes Ryan is an absolute scumbag. We see Shannon. She's over at her house having a little FaceTime with her daughter. And you could tell that she really misses her girls. She tells her about the lawsuit with Johnny. And her daughter says, well, he's really gross. And, we could always tell that Shannon's daughters really did not like Johnny. And you know what? I didn't really like Johnny either. Later that day, the information comes out that Alexis was alluding to. They did an interview with People Magazine, and People Magazine has all of this information about John suing Shannon. And of course, Tamara tries to call Shannon, and I thought, why would you call her? You have been nothing but hateful, rude, disgusting, and vile with this woman from the jump. Why would you be calling her right now? The only reason why she was calling her is because she wanted to try to see and hear the hurt in Shannon's voice. Well, Shannon didn't answer her phone call, but she accidentally butt dialed.
Oh, Shannon's calling me. Shannon? She butt dialed me.
Alexis is paying for the public insurance. I'm sure. I'm so overwhelmed and I'm so tired. Hello?
Shannon.
Tamara enjoyed that, in my opinion. She enjoyed hearing Shannon devastated. Then she made this comment, why didn't she just agree to pay him? She did agree to pay him if he would sign an NDA and leave her alone going forward. I don't think there was anything wrong with her asking for that. She knew about the videos. She knows everything else that he's trying to do to her. Here's your $75,000. Leave me to hell alone. Don't bring me up anymore. And they never really are clear if she was offering to sign a NDA for a non-disclosure agreement about him either. I keep hearing that it was on both sides, but I haven't seen that anywhere. Anyway, even if she didn't offer an NDA, I personally would have. Here is your $75,000. Sign an NDA that you won't talk about me. I will sign an NDA that I won't talk about you. Let's move forward. And Tamara keeps trying to act as if Alexis has nothing to do with this. Alexis is written all over this. Katie invites the ladies over to her house and their husbands. She says that since she's new to town, she needs all the friends she can get, and her husband needs friends too. So she wants to invite all the ladies over with their husbands so that they can meet her husband. When she invited Emily says, oh my gosh, you're going to have Ryan, Eddie, and Shane there at the same time. I thought that was hilarious. Katie says that she didn't invite Shannon because Shannon doesn't have a boyfriend or a husband. And I kind of felt sad. You could have invited her. She could have had someone that she could have, brought with her. But in the middle of all of this coming out and everything, she probably would have backed out anyway. Gina couldn't come because she had a prior engagement with her children, and she didn't even invite Heather, which I thought was kind of odd because even though Heather and Katie are at odds, Heather has invited Katie to every one of her events. I thought that was a little jacked up that she didn't invite Heather. I laughed so hard when Emily asked her son, she says, if we're going to someone's house for dinner, what kind of gift should we bring? And he said pot. At first I thought, is he talking about pots, like pots and pans to make dinner? But then I said, oh no, this young man is talking about pot, the green. No, sir. Terry gets ready to go under the knife. He gives Heather this big hug and he tells her that she can only grieve for 6 months. And then after that, she needs to date somebody with a better nose. I said, Lord, Terry has such a good sense of humor. He really does. I was really glad that he lived through the surgery. And so was Heather. She said now she's going to get her some peaceful nights of sleep. Now, whatever he was doing under that blanket, I agree with Heather. That did look suspect. I'm blaming it on the medication. Matt and his fiance Britt stopped by to see Gina, and it was really happy to see that they get along as well as they do. Gina was making meatballs and sauce, and that pot she was whipping up the meatballs in, she could stick her entire arm in that pot. It was so big. I said, oh Lord, that would be dangerous in my house. Anyway, I love the relationship between her, Matt, and Britt. And it looks like Matt really likes Travis too. So they do a really good job co-parenting. And Britt said, I'm really lucky that I have you as Matt's ex. And Gina said, yes. She said, you are lucky to have me. And I've got this lunatic talking about Travis's wife. You should be careful about those negative comments about Travis's wife because Travis has children with that woman and you are a part of those children's lives. I would hate for them to be angry or upset or hurt by Gina making negative comments about their mother. And this is a chance you take when you date somebody who's married. You took a chance dating that woman's husband and now she putting y'all through hell. I'm just saying. Katie's husband, Matt, asked her what they were having for dinner. She says that she ordered food, and I was impressed with the menu. She said she ordered brisket, chicken, macaroni and cheese, potato salad, and baked beans. I said, all of that sounds delicious to me, especially the brisket and the macaroni and cheese. I noticed that she absolutely did not take the food out of the containers they came in. She left it all in the aluminum pans. I thought that was a little bit refreshing because most of the housewives, they take the stuff out of the aluminum pans and try to act as if they cooked it all themselves. Sometimes they put them in the nice pans and then they still tell you that they ordered it. But you know what I mean. It looks a little nicer when you take them out of the aluminum pans. She also waits till the last minute to tell Matt that, allegedly, Ryan said some negative things about Eddie on a podcast. And Matt says, "Why did you wait until now to tell me?" And when Emily shows up, she is wearing a beautiful denim dress. I think it was denim. It looked denim. She looked gorgeous. I said, "You know what, Emily? I don't care what size you wear. You always look really beautiful." I want her to realize it. Ryan shows up wearing some tight pants and I was so uncomfortable. I felt very uncomfortable and I was on my couch wearing some pajama pants. I mean, come on, Ryan, do better. What I thought was hilarious is Ryan came in there thinking that he was about to get a hug and a dap from Eddie. I said, "Ryan, boy, are you out your damn mind? You really thought that you were going to come in there, dap him up and hug him and y'all were just going to be friends? Absolutely not." What I didn't like is before he could even get to Eddie, Shane put his hand out and said, "Hi, nice to meet you." And Ryan ignored Shane until he got dissed by Eddie. And then he goes ahead and daps up Shane and hugs Shane or whatever. Don't do that. I hated that. And Ryan asked Eddie, was he just going to go hide? I said, this is not starting off great at all. Katie says, "Please don't break any of her wine glasses. They're $80 a piece." When she said that, I said, oh my. I looked around. I said, look at my wine glasses. I paid $5 a piece for them. I am not rich. You are not about to get an $80 wine glass at my house. Absolutely not. And the wine that I'm going to pour into the $5 wine glass is $25. No, not me, girl. I am not rich. Anyway, Eddie was faking smiling to Shane, talking about, oh, I've got to tolerate the bullshit here and the environment. No, you don't. You could have kept your ass at home. That was my thought. Tamara then tells Emily that Ryan is a little bitch, which I thought was hilarious because Emily said, don't say that around Shane. And they did the flashback of when Kelly Dodd called Shane a little bitch. And then I was also thinking about Jen calling Joe over in New Jersey a little bitch boy. I said, oh, God. Is any husband safe from being called a bitch? I don't think so. Ryan says that Eddie is a clown and a baby bitch. I said, oh, gosh, Ryan, please sit down and shut up. Everybody just sit down and shut up. Now, Katie's husband, Matt, made the biggest mistake. He sat down and asked Ryan what he did for a living. Ryan went on and on and on. Matt's face looked like he was ready to just throw up. He was sick, just sick and tired. He doesn't give a damn about Ryan and his alleged career. Just shut up, please. Tamara was drunk as hell, spilling drinks on Katie's floor. Eddie looked embarrassed, in my opinion. And Eddie goes over there and asks Matt not to serve Tamara any more drinks. And I said, you know what, Eddie, instead of telling Matt not to serve Tamara any more drinks, you should have went and had a private conversation with Tamara and told her that she needs to stop drinking here. You know, make your next drink some water. Because if you don't say something, she's going to keep doing this stuff. You could tell that Eddie was quite embarrassed. I was embarrassed too. You should not have to tell someone to stop serving your spouse, especially if they don't have a drinking problem. This is the same woman who has been dragging the dog shit out of Shannon all season, and your own husband has to ask somebody to cut you off. Then they bring up the whole argument with Emily and Heather and Alexis, and Emily starts crying and everything. Emily, please, go get therapy about this. You keep bringing up that the dress was a size 12. I don't care what size the dress was. You wore the dress. You looked amazing in the dress. The dress looked great on you. So what if it was a size 12? It doesn't matter. You need to go see somebody. Everybody can tell that you have been busting your butt and you look amazing. Move past this. Tamara, of course, had to bring up the People magazine article and that Shannon butt dialed her. There was no embarrassment for Tamara. I would have been embarrassed to tell people, yeah, she butt dialed me and I just listened to the whole conversation. What? You should have hung up. And then I thought it was weird because when Shannon did butt dial her, at the end of it, she said hello. And Tamara, it looked like she hung up. She didn't want Shannon to know that she had been listening. That's my opinion. Then they show Shannon. She's at home crying. Fresh face, no makeup, sad, laying in bed with Archie. And I felt so bad for her. Shannon is catching hell.
If you'd come up to me and say, bro, are you saying these disrespectful things about my wife?
For what?
To just
I got
clarify.
nothing to prove.
Why are you doing this?
Because he's coming after my husband.
But you went after
nothing
him.
Oh,
I told the truth. I told the truth.
But why? What does it matter for you?
And then when he went on a fucking podcast, ripped my husband apart, ripped me apart as a mom?
I don't think I did, Tamara.
You know, Tamara, I don't know if she's still talking to her children, but she's also had that. I totally feel like she wants what you guys have because it doesn't seem like she has it in her household.
That's a tough one for me to answer.
Yeah.
I don't live under their roof, and the last thing I would want to do is speculate.
I did not.
You went after my son, Ryan?
I didn't go after your son, Ryan. I just reposted a post saying you should stop talking about me.
Okay.
You should say
Don't-
worry about your own Ryan.
Yeah. Okay, do I go after your kids?
I did not. I said worry about your own Ryan.
Don't talk about my kids.
I apologize
because
if
I
you...
will go after you if you go after my kids.
I didn't go after your kids. I said worry about your own Ryan. So if you said worry
That's
about your
going
own...
after my own kid, you bitch. You're a bitch.
Oh, I don't even know
Why
you.
do you sit there, Eddie?
I don't even know you.
You and I have known each other for so long. I've always supported you. I've always supported her. Why do you allow this?
What, am I her keeper?
No, but this is bullshit. You know it. I've been nothing but good to you.
Maybe my husband's not a little bitch.
Neither is mine.
Are you really speaking like this?
Yeah, I am.
Stop.
Eddie,
Wow, at your age, it's...
Eddie, stop.
It's
Both of you
not
stop.
impressive.
Are you
Stop.
Eddie?
It's not
You and
impressive.
I-
I'm not. I'm just saying, who
Stop.
speaks like this at an adult dinner table?
Oh,
Babe.
I know. You're so perfect, Ryan.
Well, nobody's speaking about
How's
that.
the FBI going
Eddie.
for you?
Stop.
FBI.
Stop.
Who knows?
Oh, you don't know
Stop.
anything about the FBI.
Stop. It's not worth it.
Eddie, I hate this coming between me and you because I've had massive respect for you forever. Forever.
Oh,
Where's my purse? Give me my purse. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done.
Tamara takes anybody who's happy and tries to railroad them because she's miserable.
Let's go.
It doesn't need to be like this.
Is there a car out here? Because I'll go by myself.
Jeez.
Her marriage is a sham. Eddie is soft. He's unemployed. When others are doing well and real love is being shown, she can't handle it because it's everything she doesn't have.
the little pieces of the podcast that they let us hear, I didn't hear anything negative. They asked Ryan about Tamara as a mother, and he said he didn't want to discuss that he couldn't really discuss that because he doesn't live in their house. So I don't think that was negative. Now, the situation with the FBI and Jen acting like, what FBI? Listen, I am not positive that the FBI raided Ryan's home. I do know that there is a whole big thing out there about Ryan, the FBI, the gambling, the Dodgers player, and the stolen money. Ryan has some sort of connection to this whole situation, but he has not been proven guilty in a court of law, and I don't know if he's guilty of it or not. However, where there's smoke, there is fire. You know, Ryan made some decent points in their argument. Eddie says that he doesn't see Ryan as a threat, and that may be true. He may not see Ryan as a threat. However, if both of you are in a friend group and someone is telling you that Ryan is after people's wives, and Ryan made a comment about wanting to F your wife, I don't know why you couldn't have pulled him to the side and had a conversation. I absolutely would have. I would not have held it and then brought it up later. Not only that, I don't understand why Eddie and Tamara are so upset about Ryan saying anything about them on a podcast. Tamara and Eddie spent the entire season last season trash talking the hell out of Ryan and Jen. So Ryan should be able to say something. I don't understand how Tamara can go through and destroy everybody else's character and credibility. But as soon as someone says something to her about her husband, or anything, all of a sudden she's a victim. Absolutely not. I really do think that Ryan was giving. Okay, Ryan gave us more entertainment in this episode than we have ever received the whole time Tamara has been married to Eddie. And I also, that comment that Tamara made about Ryan likes to date married women and Jen was married when he got with her. You know, according to the streets, you were still married to Simon when you got with Eddie. So Eddie liked married women too? I'm just saying. Anyway, allegedly. And the whole thing, stop talking about my kids. Okay, first of all, your Ryan is 40 years old. And in my opinion, he is racist. He is violent. He is odd. And I don't like him. Okay, he is all of those things, allegedly, in my opinion. Give me a damn break. I don't give a shit. When people on the Housewives talk about, don't talk about my kids, when their kids are small, defenseless, and haven't proven themselves to be a complete jackass, I am here for it. But when you talk about your Ryan, oh hell no. And you know what else? Ryan could have absolutely said some nasty things about Tamara on that podcast. Most of her children don't talk to her. They don't want nothing to do with her. Tamara is a really mean, horrible person. But he didn't. He said, I cannot speculate. I don't live with her. Eddie sat there for the most of the time completely silent, as if he was completely embarrassed and didn't want anything to do with this conversation. He wanted to go home. You could tell. Did anybody notice that Eddie had to grab Tamara by the face pretty much and tell her to stop? Stop doing this. You're doing too much. You're going overboard. Jen saying, can you stop this? Can you stop her? Or, you know, whatever it was that she was saying. And Eddie's like, I'm not her keeper. No, you're not her keeper. What you really are is her enabler. You enable her to act this way. And you should not be okay with this. And then Tamara, when she storms off, I said, wait a minute. Are you storming off? I know you're not storming off. Not the way you disrespect Shannon all the time, talking about Shannon storming off. And Eddie just sat at the table and let her walk the hell off. And you know something crazy? When Tamara goes out in the car, I seen in the previews for next week, Eddie and Ryan actually hug. And Ryan says, I'm sorry, brother. Eddie says, it's okay. And then they say that they're going to try to work it out. Even Eddie thinks that this is absolutely crazy and they can try to mend their friendship. The common denominator in all of this is always Tamara. Honey, now listen, Ryan cleared her ass at the end, didn't he? Talking about her fake ass marriage and how she is so hateful because she doesn't have what other people have. Listen, he might be on to something. Talking about Eddie doesn't have a job. He is on to something. I'm just saying. So then when she gets her butt all, watch what happens live.
You know what, Ryan? We sell more in a month than what you stole from the Dodger player.
Oh boy.
Listen, Ryan goes out and hires Jim Bellino's attorney, the one who absolutely demolished Tamara and Shannon in court. Honey, listen, the next thing you know.
Did you guys watch? I know. Did you guys watch What Happens Live? It was so good with Ekansu last night.
It was awesome.
I will say, I was a little bit tired. I did misspeak a little bit on a couple things. I said that I don't drink, I think I said. What I meant to say is I haven't been drunk since that night.
Yes.
And I didn't mean to say that Ryan stole the money. I meant Vina made more money than what was stolen.
Yes.
From the Dodger player. But I didn't mean Ryan, so I apologize for that. Because like Andy said, you're innocent until proven guilty.
He is. Everybody's innocent until proven guilty.
Then she goes back on her Instagram and she says, as I mentioned on my IG story yesterday, I would like to apologize for and correct the record on a misstatement I made on Watch What Happens Live Thursday about Ryan. I have no reason to believe that Ryan has stolen any money. I misspoke in tying Ryan to the actions of others. I meant to say my company makes more money than what was stolen from the Dodgers player. Her company does not make anywhere near as much money as was stolen from that Dodgers player. That man, I think they stole like $16 million from that man or something like that. I'm going to have to Google it. No, ma'am. Anyway, she says, unfortunately, I misspoke on live television. While Ryan and I have had ongoing issues, I do apologize to him for my mistake and wish to make clear that my statement was made in error. I sincerely apologize, Tamara Judge. I thought that was hella funny. Now you have to shut it down, okay? I appreciate that. Somebody went out online and asked Ryan, please get yourself a good lawyer and sue Tamara's ass off. She's out here now trying to do damage control. I didn't mean to say Ryan stole money. We are behind you and Jen. Ryan said, facts. I already did. I hired Jeff Neary, which is the same amazing attorney that represented Jim Bellino in his victorious slander and defamation lawsuit against Tamara years ago. She was served yesterday, round 2. Go Ryan. You know what? I just have to be clear. I don't like Ryan either, but I am always here for somebody who is willing to take Tamara on. I'm sick of her. Listen, Vicki Gundelson had a little something to say. She says, I guess she didn't learn before with being sued from Jim. She has no storyline unless she's attacking someone. Peeing on your backyard cement was it for me and everyone else. It's gross, classless, and rude. Now, hopefully she learns her lesson on defaming people. Okay, Vicky, that's what we have all been saying. She is classless and gross. That peeing on that woman's concrete next to her pool was disgusting. But that wasn't the end of it because Gretchen had a little something to say. Gretchen replies to Vicky's comment and she says 100% clear she never learns and just thinks she can say whatever she wants under the guise that she's making a TV show, even when it is categorically false. She needs to learn the hard way that she can't just destroy people's lives and lie and not be held accountable. And the most ironic part is that the second someone tells the actual truth about her, she cries and says, that's so horrible of them to say. She has such a double standard. No, what's horrible is to make up flat out lies about people. She has made up lies about Slade and I for years. She goes on her podcast every week and trashes people and then gets upset when they respond to her lies. What a joke. She needs to take a hard look in the mirror for once. Hashtag time's up. After that, Ryan gets back online and he says, Tamara, you just played out. Your stick is old, and we, the fans of the show, have evolved and grown up. Your lying, scheming, self-produced, drunken nakedness, trailer trash behavior is circa 10 years ago. Oh my God. It's not cute anymore. When was it? In fact, it's gross. It is, Ryan. And we're over it. I am, Ryan. Just take a look in the mirror. Or if self-reflection isn't your thing, then just read the comments on your blogs, Bravo TV, your own podcast, or your own personal social media. Hashtag it's time. Gretchen gets back in there and she says, it reminds me so much of what she did to Slade and I constantly. She would talk mad shit about Slade, and then the second he was defending himself or calling her out on her BS, she would cry and play victim. It's the same old story, just different characters. I'm so sorry the two of you are going through this. We love you guys. Oh my gosh. Then after that, somebody dug up Kelly Dodd.
I just got off the phone with Jim Bellino, and he gave me the info on what Tamara did. And then I got a bunch of DMs also saying, she's a liability. Tamara Judge needs to be sued. I need to sue Tamara Judge. Vicky needs to sue Tamara Judge. And Gretchen needs to sue Tamara Judge. We all need to come together and sue her. She said, I suck dick for money on the show, not once, but multiple times. That is not true. It's slander, and it's disgusting that she gets to come and say I do a sex train and all these things. That is a lie. We all need to come together and file a class action lawsuit against Tamara Judge because they allow her to go and spread rumors. And you know what? We need to take her down. We need to take that evil bitch down.
Now listen. Kelly says, let's sue that woman. Okay, she deserves to be sued. Let's take her to court. Let's teach her a damn lesson. Then on top of all that, yesterday, Saturday night was girls' night. You see Katie, Jen, and Gretchen, they all went out. And honey, listen, they all looked amazing. Okay, from head to toe. Not a hair out of place. Anyway, I would love to see them bring Gretchen and Vicky back next season. Tamra takedown season. Tamra takedown season. I am here for it. Anyway, peeps, get down in the comments and let me know what you think. And until next time, bye.